wonderful people. That sounded really sarcastic. I didn't mean it that way. You're really wonderful. So I had said that I was going to do a video about the thigh highs and sock glue for the Ravenclaw cosplay. The sock glue that I got is called It Stays, and it's not just for socks, it's for like all clothing and wigs, and you can even use it for like prosthetic makeup, I think. Yeah, theatrical makeup and devices. Shoulder straps, that's a good idea to keep your bra straps up if they always slip down. So this is what I got. This is the same stuff that they sold on Sock Dreams, except I found it for like way less on Amazon. And I put, so I figured out what I wanted to do about the unfortunate lack of plus size thigh highs. I found a pair of black tights that had a control top, and I cut off the legs. And I cut them off just above the seam where the control top started, so that there is a kind of like built-in seam so that they won't just unravel and fray. I washed them. They held up 100% in the wash. They're fine. And they fit. So that's my solution to that. However, sock glue, on my right is where I had the socks this morning, and on the left is where they are now. Let's do this. This is where I put them. This is where they are. So, in short, it didn't work. I'm not entirely sure if it's the sock glue's fault or if I didn't apply it real well, but I'm not impressed. I really the reviews on this were so good, and there was a comment on my last post mentioning it on YouTube that somebody had used it for their socks for step dancing classes and that it worked really well. I don't know if it works better for certain types of socks, because these are made out of tight material, which is super porous and you would think would be really easy to glue into place. So I'm not really sure. I'm gonna try washing them, because you have to wash them before you can try and glue them again. I'm gonna wash them. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna use like 2 layers of glue. I may even try and like glue through the tight fabric from the outside and see if that does anything. But yeah, they didn't stay up, and it is the only other thing that I think I might have done wrong is that when it goes on, obviously, it's tacky when it goes on, but it's still really liquid, and I'm wondering if it would be better for me to like put them on while I'm like laying down and then just stay still for like 5 minutes or so until it really dries before I start walking around. Because I put it on while I was standing, and after I put it on and I held the socks in place for like probably like 10-15 seconds each, and then started to walk around because they seemed like they were pretty good when I just like pulled on them. But yeah, that didn't last. Like I could feel them rolling down as I walked around. Even though they weren't actually moving, I could feel the fabric changing, and then eventually they did just roll down. So I mean, it's not like I can use these as knee socks. It's just not the look that I was really going for, which was like this quasi-slutty Ravenclaw look. It's gonna be much more schoolgirlish, which is like not my favorite. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna try again. And from the tackiness that's still on my skin where that glue was, I think it would probably work really well for something like you know, bra straps or other things that aren't necessarily on parts of your body that get this sort of like changes in shape as you move, or when you sit, your thighs spread out, you know, like things just on your legs are a lot more, they just change a lot more. So we'll see if that does anything. I also want to show you all, I have my glasses on because I was having a problem with my eyeballs the other day. But I did some new Ravenclaw makeup with a little bit more of a defined edge over the top, and I'm really digging this one. So I think this is probably going to be one of the Ravenclaw eye looks that I use, and Milani lip again. So I feel pretty good about this blue and bronze combo, and the next one that I work on is going to be the heavy blue, which I think I might make just kind of weird looking, because I've been really I've been making, like, this, not like this isn't a dramatic look, obviously, but it is the kind of look that I could kind of just wear out and nobody would blink over it, and I'd kind of like to try something really intense. So I'm gonna practice some stuff, and then once I feel like I've got it nailed down a little bit better, I will show you how to do it if I come up with something that I'm happy with. Also, last thing, and this is incredibly hard to get across on camera. You really can't see at all because the definition isn't high enough. But I tried something different the other day, and it was a tricky thing, and I'm still mastering it, but I'm very happy with it so far. It's a trick that I've seen for people with oily skin to put on their primer first, obviously. Then you let that sit for a minute, and then you put on your powder, a translucent powder, let it sit, and then over the powder, put your foundation. And it's been really great. Like, my pores are much less noticeable. The finish is just more satiny and doesn't look like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because people say cake face as, like, talking about how things look dry. And it's not, like, it's got a dry look, but in a way that I like. I guess it doesn't look muddy, which is what I feel like can happen when I use certain foundations. I have oily skin, and it can look good when I first put it on, but by the end of the day, and I tried this the other day, and my foundation looked just as good at the very end of the day as it did when I first put it on, which never, ever, ever happens for me. So, I'm gonna try and, like, really get it down, because you can't really see it, again, because of the low quality of the camera, but there is a little bit of cake face happening here and there because I didn't blend it well enough, and that's the trick, is that when you start to put on the foundation, the powder that's already on sucks that foundation up so much that you really have to work fast, or else shit is just where it's gonna be, and you'll have to do a complete removal in order to fix it, which I know for a lot of people is a deal breaker, and that's completely legit. But for me, I would rather work fast and have it really stay than have it be workable and then have to use, like, a fixing spray a bunch of times a day. And I will say, I didn't have to use a finishing mist on this at all the last time. I didn't do it today either. We'll see how that works. But those, and I don't think those mists are, like, a bad idea or anything, but the vast majority of them are, like, dewy, glowing finish, and it's like, I don't need that, guys. I have oil in my face that does that for me. So, yeah, those are my things for the day. I'm sorry about this, It Stays glue, and I'm gonna try it again, give it another chance, because maybe it was my fault that it didn't quite work. If you guys have used this and it worked well for you, if you have any tips, please let me know. Because I think it was Bridget who left the comment last time about using it for the step dancing, and she said to make sure to shave before you glue, because pulling it off after really hurts. And I was like, that is a really good point. I never even thought of that. So I did shave before I put them on, but apparently it doesn't matter. That doesn't help with staying on, and is what I mean by it doesn't matter. So yeah, if you guys have tips on how you let it set, or the type of fabric that you've used it on, or anything like that that you think might have been a factor in this not working for me, yeah, tell me, because I'm interested to hear any suggestions. So that's the only one for right now. And I'll be coming at you again with the chub rub thing. And that I probably will be able to do by the beginning of next week. So fingers crossed. Yay. Love you guys. Bye.